That was a couple months back.
Flushed.
Cool. Yeah. Oh, cool.
And municipality upgraded their lateral.
Hey, this is a free service. Yeah. 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 You think there'd be a system that, I don't know. Like if they hit a guide rail, the state sends them a bill. So should be allowed to do something. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I understand.
I believe that Candace is bringing her money tonight when I talk to
No,
her.
no. I just so that you guys are made aware.
Okay. And then I guess this is
Good.
Yeah. It was in your box. And I was like, oh, she didn't pick us up. No wonder you were sitting there going, I don't know what you're talking about. Nobody ever goes and checks their mailbox.
I never have anything.
Now you did.
I never have anything.
I don't know, I've been on it.
Oh my God, it was actually nicer.
Traffic has been absolutely crazy.
You can go at lunchtime. Noon, you're there. Just after they dug up all the garbage. People would just all run away. I was like, this is nicer. There are no reps. My kids, I told them that they were going to do potato chips. We're not taking that over there. That's what I said. I said, end of summer probably. Well, it's to the point where you can drive over them.
Oh, yeah, no, because I'm about a little over 2 years. I don't know.
It's got no drainage there. It's too flat, so we can't get any drainage. There's no way to add it. Good evening.
Yeah, I think that's awesome.
Oh, okay.
Good thinking.
Oh, you got one?
Yep.
Damn.
They
5 copies.
They mailed it. They mailed it.
I got 5 mailed
And
here.
it's so funny because my assistant comes in. Nothing's mailed.
Anna.
Yeah, that's what I
She
said.
goes, oh, this must be very important. And I'm like, oh, it is.
Okay.
But also,
But,
like, we've
yeah.
seen it via email like 30 times already.
Oh, yeah. Any comments? Any comments?
I know.
Yeah, I got 5 copies. That's why I was like, why would Jason mail this? I thought they were specs for like contracts.
Yeah.
Been
I
Ashley
opened up, I was
sometime.
like,
Hi, Ash.
Yeah. Hello.
Maybe the same about John here.
No, it's nasty.
it's supposed to snow.
Well, you know, I was told.
Power went out here.
The wind is crazy. Emily texted me, her power was out.
I try not to think about it.
I try not to.
I made it almost 3 years and I got it twice.
Mhm.
Yeah, my daughter was panicked. She's like, the power went on. I have to go down to the south side to my office. I got 15 minutes to wait and that's it. I was like, give it a minute. Jesus.
Yeah, it was just a blip.
He's checking and working the crowd. Last time I had it was August. Before that was November.
It does take a long time to figure out what time it is up there.
Good.
Oh, it is.
Weird guy. Okay, I'd like to call this meeting to order. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and then the invocation by Mayor DePretis. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for
which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Lord, thank you for the opportunity to serve Baldwin Borough. We pray that any disagreements or conflicts that may arise will be resolved peacefully. We pray for clear minds, efficient communications, and effective problem solving. We pray for peace in our country. Lord, we thank you for the leaders who have been placed in this community. May we be a source of strength and unity for our community. In your name we pray.
Amen. Play ball.
Dave?
Okay, roll call, Mr. Farrick?
Mr. Egger, Mr. Hayhurst,
Here.
Mr. Rambo,
Here.
Mrs. Boyer,
Here.
Mrs. Conley,
Here.
Mr. D,
Here.
Mrs. Brown,
Here.
Mayor DePratis,
Here.
Mr. Stanton,
Here.
Ashley Wagner,
Here.
Mr. Farrick is here, Mr. Brown,
Here.
and Chief Cortez.
Here.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Farrick. Next up, I'm looking for approval of the minutes from the agenda meeting minutes of March 11th, 2025. I need a motion, please.
So moved?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the agenda meeting minutes of March 11th, 2025. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next up, I'm looking for approval of the regular meeting minutes of March 18th, 2025.
So moved.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the regular meeting minutes of March 18th, 2025. Any questions on the motion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next up is audience agenda. Anyone in the audience have anything related to the agenda items that they would like to speak about? Hearing none, we'll move on then to the engineer's report.
Thank you,
Mr.
Madam
Shannon.
President. We reviewed the highlights of the engineer's report at last week's meeting. There's one action item identified there, and that is a motion to approve partial payment number 1 in the amount of $51,120 to Shiloh Industrial Contractors Incorporated for contract number 25 PK3 General Construction Baldwin Swimming Pool Improvements per the recommendation of the Borough Engineer.
So moved?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve partial payment number 1 in the amount of $51,120 to Shiloh Industrial Contractors Incorporated for contract number 25-PK3 General Construction Baldwin Swimming Pool Improvements per the recommendation of the Borough Engineer. Any questions on the motion? Okay, all those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
Madam President, that concludes our report unless there are any questions. Thank you.
That was beautiful.
Very quick, thank you. Okay, moving on then to the solicitor's report with Mrs. Wagner.
Thank you, Madam President. I did give my report at last week's agenda meeting. I don't have anything further for tonight, but happy to answer any questions if there are any.
Hearing no questions then, thank you, Mrs. Wagner. Moving on then to the mayor's report with Mayor DePratis.
Thank you, Madam President. Calls received from 911 for the month of March were 786. Fees for the month were $2,065. Social services, new cases 25, total cases 30. Community outreach 5, and 3 trainings attended. That ends my report, but the chief has a couple of items.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Madam President. Just an update to council. Over last month, we had some residents show up at the meeting here to discuss the Joseph Street speeding. I did have Lynette run numbers for accidents, traffic citations, traffic complaints, et cetera, for the 1-year period before the construction and then during the construction. The numbers were very consistent. We have not seen a spike in the complaints and accidents as a result of the construction. Since that meeting, we have done pretty heavy enforcement on that road, written a number of citations. We've done details pretty much every day. There's been some days our call volume has excluded us from doing that, but we're staying on top of it. And tomorrow, Randy has set up the new speed limit signs that we had asked him to put up are in. So our officers will be accompanying Public Works over, hopefully tomorrow morning, to get those signs installed for speed limit signs. So that's number 1, is the update on the Joseph Street from our residents concerned last month. Second of all is we're wrapping up background investigations on the 2 candidates that we did in the January test. My question is at the agenda meeting in May, would you like me to schedule those two candidates to come in before the meeting for a meet and greet with council? Any questions you might have? Is that something we could put on the
Okay.
agenda?
Sounds good.
There will be no more than two, so we can probably set it up, 6:35, 6:40, for a few minutes each and be done in time to start at 7. So I'll make those arrangements for the candidates we have, and we'll see you that night then. Thank you, Madam President.
Okay, thank you, Chief. Okay, any questions for the chief or the mayor?
Madam President, thank you. No, I just want to thank the chief for looking into that, and Lynette for the, looking into since the traffic and the citations and everything like that, so I appreciate it. Thought there would be some different outcomes, but appreciate it. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
For the residents increase the extra patrol and the increase in citation. Maybe people will slow down, hopefully. Okay.
Actually, no, they
No?
won't. We can run that traffic 24/7. We're going to get speeders every day on that road. It's just that's the nature of the road.
Moving on then to administration with Mr. Farrick.
Thank you, Madam President. I gave my report last week, but I do have a couple motions I'm looking for. First motion, motion to procure through CoStars the supply and installation of a double flume slide for the pool project from If It's Water in the amount of $85,300.09.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to procure through CoStars the supply and installation of a double flume slide for the pool project from If It's Water in the amount of $85,300.09. Any questions on the motion? I have one. Who picks the Keller? Do we pick it?
Yes, they did give us a Keller chart selection for it.
Okay.
So Randy and I were going to go through that and compare it to what we have for the other water features and see if we could get something that'll similarly match in that area.
I was excited and wanted a certain color. Okay, it's the little
Madam
things.
President, did you have a certain color in
Yeah.
mind?
Yeah, I like the aquascape because I don't think the blue quite matches the blue that we have down there because the
Aquascape.
blue that's down there is very bright. So this is kind of a dull one. So I like the teal.
Okay.
I was in favor of the patriotic for what it's worth.
Which one's patriotic?
That's the nice gray and
Oh, no, that's drab.
drab.
Yeah, the pool's happy. We need a happy color.
Colorblind.
Gray is terrible. Okay, so that's all I had on
I'm
that.
assuming you don't paint the walls of your house.
Do you not have color on your walls at your house?
No, I have,
They're all white.
they're
Gray, gray,
very
and gray.
colorful accents.
Okay. Where was I? Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries.
Next, I'm looking for a motion to adopt resolution number 2025-04-07, approving the police civil service rules and regulations and authorizing execution of said rules and regulations.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number 25-04-07, approving the police civil service rules and regulations and authorizing execution of said rules and regulations. Any question on the motion? Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Next, I'm looking for a motion to adopt resolution number 2025-04-08, appointing delegates to the Allegheny County Southwest District Tax Collection Committee as required by Act 32 of 2008.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number 2025-04-08, appointing delegates to the Allegheny County Southwest District Tax Collection Committee as required by Act 32 of 2008. Any questions on the motion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Next, I'm looking for a motion to adopt resolution number 2025-04-09, approving and adopting the Borough of Baldwin Employee Handbook.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number 2025-04-09, approving and adopting the Borough of Baldwin Employee Handbook. Any questions on the motion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And last, I'm looking for a motion to adopt resolution number 2025-04-10, jointly requesting a PA small water and sewer grant with Whitehall Borough in the amount of $500,000 from the Commonwealth Financing Authority to be used for the Rear Leona Drive Sanitary Sewer Improvement Project.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number 2025-04-10, jointly requesting a PA small water and sewer grant with Whitehall Borough in the amount of $500,000 from the Commonwealth Financing Authority to be used for the Rear Leona Drive Sanitary Sewer Improvement Project. Any questions on the motion? Elliot?
Thank you, Madam President. Bob, do you know a timeline for when the CFA will award?
I believe it's in August, Jason?
August, September, early fall?
We should know around then.
Yes.
Thank you.
And then just a quick note too, our commitment is the exact same as Whitehall's commitment, and that'll be $44,630 should we receive the whole grant. That would be a nice get for the borough.
Great. Thank you.
And then this is a project that would happen like next year, based on if we get.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. I wouldn't, if the grant's awarded in the fall, I don't think we'd want to bid it to start construction in the winter. So that's what our thinking is. And incidentally, it's our understanding the Whitehall plans on acting on a similar resolution with the same amounts at their meeting tomorrow night.
Perfect. Okay, thank you very much. Any other questions, comments? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries.
And that concludes my report, Madam President.
Okay, any questions for Mr. Fair?
I have a question. So obviously we're not ready to vote on the three municipality companies.
Correct. Yeah, we got to wait until we get the signed agreement
Okay.
for the three municipalities. Ashley's firm is still working on that. Once we get
Okay.
that, we'll get that approved at hopefully the May meeting.
So most likely next
Yes.
month. Very good.
Thank you, Mr. D. Moving on then to finance with Mr. Hayhurst.
Thank you, Madam President. I gave my report last week, but as an addendum, the top 5 bills that we've seen coming in were for the Pleasant Hills Authority for some sewage billing of $334,401. U.S. bank bond interest for 2020 and 2021 bonds that we did for $139,421 and change. We have a sewer fund engineering for Lennon Smith Solar Array for $55,873. We did the library quarterly donation for $51,500. We have the Shiloh Industries for $120. Plus there was some repairs to some through Hill International Trucks of $28,548. And we did some Huntington Capital truck payment of $25,775 and change. I have 2 motions. I want to make a motion to accept the Treasurer's Report for March of 2025.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to accept the Treasurer's Report for March of 2025. Any questions on the motion? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries.
And lastly, I'd like to make a motion to ratify bills in the amount of $714,808.12 and approve bills in the amount of $541,141.87 for a total of $1,255,949.99.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to ratify bills in the amount of $714,808.12 and approve bills in the amount of $541,141.87 for a total of $1,255,949.99. Any questions on the motion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
If there are no questions, that concludes my report for this evening.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Hayhurst.
Thank
Up
you.
next is Public Works with Mr. Rambo.
Thank you, Madam President. Last week, we had a good report from Mr. Lubin on the roads program, and we saw all the roads that we're going to attempt to do. We got those, I believe, going out to bid, or they already are out to bid.
Yes.
And I think in addition to the paving, we spoke about rejuvenation program, and I think that's very exciting. I hope that folks are talking about it and maybe listening and knowing that, we're going to be having our folks be doing that, and so because it's a new program, and just so they know, Public Works cleaning out catch basins, repairing catch basins, and ball field maintenance, which I know a lot of folks in the borough are excited about. And as the grass begins to grow with the rain falling, our folks will be out there with lawn maintenance as well. So that's all I have for my Public Works report, Madam President. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Rembo. Any questions for him?
I have a question.
Sure.
Question or comment or request maybe to Bob or Mr. Lubin. Yesterday I was at Baldwin EMS's board meeting, and more important this year probably than other years, they get an accurate list of the road resurfacing when things are happening, mainly because of what's happening on Lebanon Church and Route 51 a lot of state. So they're doing a lot of planning and a lot of moving resources around. So when that time comes, I'm sure we typically do that. And I'm sure
Yeah,
they will get
Randy
that list.
communicates as the roads are getting worked on with not just, internally here with our department, but he notifies every chief. So he sends an email out, so that includes Chief Plunkett, so he will get that information as well.
And that, of course, would be very important to our fire chief, David Coleman, fire company also.
Thanks for bringing that up with.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank
D.
you. Just being you.
Moving on then to Parks and Recreation with Patty Boyer.
Thank you, Madam President. All of council has seen the blanket approval list for April 2025. We have 7 residents that are going to be reserving the pavilion at Elmleaf Park. I'd like to make a motion to approve the blanket list for April 2025.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the April blanket list for Elmleaf Park. Any questions on the motion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
That's all that I have for my report. Unless there's any questions.
I think so.
And Anna Newberg is here for her library report.
Just come up and raise that mic next time.
I need to raise it too.
Got it.
All right. Okay, so it's good to see all of you. I want to give the library update for April. In April, we're kicking off some digital learning initiatives, including email basics on Android and iOS, spotting texting scams, and a new one that we're doing is recognizing AI-generated content, because we're seeing more and more of that these days. And we're helping, it's part of a series we're going to do on AI in general, both recognizing scams and what is and isn't AI, and how you can also use it to your advantage in your daily life. So we'll be starting that this year. We're going to be attending several community events in the next few months, including Baldwin Borough's upcoming Health and Wellness Fair, We Are Neighbors event with the school district, of course Baldwin Borough Community Day, we're always there, and then we always do Baldwin Towers outreach to the folks that are there and aren't mobile enough to get to the library. We have some cool upcoming events, Discovery Lab, like I said, email basics, we have the Mind-Body Connection coming up, and Soldiers and Sailors Museum is going to be joining us at the end of the month to do a presentation on the Civil War. In terms of library usage, in March, we had 23 programs with about 322 total attendees. We saw about 2,300 patrons in the library and about 300 phone calls answered. An average of 59 items a day were checked out in March. Our public computers were used 598 times, and our free Wi-Fi was used 440 times. And we registered 39 Baldwin residents for new library cards. And the one thing that I didn't include in my report, but I would just like to point out, because I think it's some useful numbers, is kind of the social assistance that we've been giving the community this year. So far this year, we've provided 38 individuals with child and family assistance. We've provided 24 individuals with food security assistance, 54 for housing assistance, about 36 individuals, medical assistance, Medicaid, Medicare. 62 individuals we've helped with various employment assistance, whether that's applying for jobs, writing a resume, etc. And we've helped about 42 people with financial assistance, so that might be unemployment, that might be LIHEAP, what have you. And we have provided 52 individuals with immigration and language needs assistance. So, and that's just through this month. So that's, I think, a good number of residents that we're helping out with a lot of needful things where they might not normally be able to find that anywhere else in the community. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out.
That's great.
That's great, thank you.
Is it advertised that you can help with that, or do they just walk in and inquire?
It's a mixture of both, really.
Okay.
It's like we get a lot of people that are very, they're like, they come in and they're very discouraged and they're very like frustrated because they've been trying to do this thing, like whether it's applying for unemployment or, you know, applying for a job or whatever, and they just know to come to the library, come to the desk, and if we can't help them right then and there, we'll get them help within a few days.
Oh, that's fantastic, thank you.
I'll be in soon, I'm applying for Medicare.
We're all like Medicare and Medicaid experts at this point.
That's good. I may maybe stopping by.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
That's critical stuff for the community. Thank you for doing that.
I gotta tell you, that is impressive,
Yeah.
how you
Yes.
help
That is
the
very-
people of our
That
community.
is.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, well, it's nice to know that people know they can turn to the library and that they trust us and that they see us as a resource that they can always come to if they're in need of assistance.
you offer too.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
My wife and I just had our last fight, because I'm coming to the library.
Everyone's welcome at the library.
She'll never be frustrated with me again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she won't be frustrated anymore.
They can say from 10 a.m. until 8 p.m.
That is awesome.
there is help.
There is help.
We're here to help. We're here to help.
I'm just a born loser with a winning attitude.
I stopped in to say, to wish Nancy, my best.
Yeah.
If you see her, please pass that
I
along.
will
I didn't get a
absolutely.
chance. I didn't get a
She's
chance.
still coming to do her monthly book club. So.
Oh, very good.
Oh, okay,
So we'll
can't
see
get
her.
away.
Anna, real quick, with the unemployment, our state representative and state senator can also help with that.
Yeah, we actually do have Nick Piscatano's office. They
Yeah.
come and help us anytime we.
Yeah, they're very helpful when it comes to that,
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been great.
in
Yeah,
case you run into an issue.
absolutely.
And I did want to ask real quick, do you receive any federal funding?
No, we do not.
Okay.
Not directly, no.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Is there federal funding available?
Not now.
Now?
Typical sources of
Um,
funding are us.
Now, no, there isn't. That's the long and the short of it. There is no federal funding available right now for libraries. No.
But you're largely getting from the state. You're getting from the borough.
The state,
the
the
RAD.
borough, and the
And then
Allegheny
there's table
County.
gaming money that comes in,
Table
plus
gaming
then
comes in.
donations.
Yeah.
So there's a series of sources.
Yeah. All those, it's really local. We're funded locally, and
Right.
we're lucky to have such a supportive council and a supportive county and a supportive community that helps us to keep doing what we're doing. Yeah.
Works two ways. We're lucky to have a library.
You're doing
Yes.
good work.
We appreciate
Absolutely.
that. Thank you. Thank you. We really appreciate that. We really appreciate your guys' support. Yeah. all the
Pass
time.
on our thanks to the staff too.
Absolutely, I will. I'll give them a pizza party.
You're live, so people are gonna hear that, so you better go follow through.
They're gonna hold me to that.
Back away to your seat.
Exactly. All right, well, thank you so much for your time again.
Okay.
Thank you for your
Thank you,
time.
Anna, for the
Thank you
report,
very
very
much.
Appreciate it.
nice.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Anna.
Thanks.
Okay. Up next is zoning and planning with Mr. Egger, but seeing as he's not here, Mr. Brown, would you like to fill us in on planning meeting last night?
Yes, ma'am. I'm not calling
Call her Mrs. Braun.
No, you're not.
He's giving you the mic.
You're not loud enough. Gotta be on, not gonna make it on the TV.
Oh, you are.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay, so yes, we had our planning commission meeting last night, and there was one applicant. It was the Churchview Farms that they came up to do an initial site plan review. The applicant, Tara Rockesy, her and Kim Gales, her engineer, was there. They came very well prepared. They were able to answer all our questions. The biggest issue that the zoning officer, Bob Fisher, had was in regarding to parking. And Ms. Rockesy said that normally she has an agreement to park across the street at the neighbor's house, but that neighbor is not willing to put anything in writing or record anything with the county. So she has another neighbor down the street, Mr., I think his name was Redshaw. He is willing to put like a right-of-way in writing. He's going to record it. If something happens to him and the property goes up for sale, she gets first right of refusal to purchase the property to be able to continue to park there. So they came very well prepared. So they had, that was for the guest parking. And then Mr. Fisher also mentioned about the 10 staff members, and she said staff usually parks at her mother's house. So he requested that we have an updated drawing that shows the 10 parking spots at the mother's property for the staff, which Miss Gale said she can do. They're also going to bring an updated drawing with the neighbor, Mr. Redshaw's property, and show the 30 spots on his property for the guests to park at. So they had everything in order as far as the parking goes. They have the 2 handicap spots up top. One was van accessible. Both of them are on asphalt close to the building as ADA requirements. So they came and answered all our questions. They had a preliminary drawing. The engineer from Lennon Smith, Devontae Miles, he took a quick look at the plan. He gave Miss Gales a few recommendations about a couple things with the sewer line, the water line, some stormwater runoff. So she was going to make those corrections as well. And they were going to submit all their plans with the staff parking, the guest parking, and then these a couple adjustments that Mr. Miles suggested. And they're going to submit those, I think, in the next week or two to get the ball rolling to start their project.
Yeah, technically, that was just a sketch plan submission, or not even a submission. It was just a sketch plan that they presented. They are going to, as you mentioned, submit a full plan in, and then the 90-day clock will start. So the 90-day clock is not started yet on that. That was just a sketch plan presentation.
Yes, it was mostly just like an informative session. So yes, that's why they wanted to come before they submitted and everything, in case there was a major roadblock that they wouldn't be able to get fixed in the 90 days. But everything seemed pretty in order, so that's when they're going to submit everything, start the 90-day clock, submit their plans and everything to Lennon Smith for a full review, and then come back before the Planning Commission probably next month.
Any questions for Mr. Brown? Okay.
You're welcome, sir.
And he gave his inspection report last week, so
Right.
we are good to move on to public safety with Mr. D.
Thank you, Madam President. So as of April 10th, 2025, we had a commencement in Baldwin Borough, and I'd like to call our fire chief up to report on that great news that we've been waiting for about 4 or 5 years now.
Thank you all. Dave Connell, Fire Chief for Baldwin Fire Rescue. I don't know if you can hear me. So as of the April the 10th, thankfully we were able to go down to Orphan Court and finalize our consolidation plan. That did successfully pass through there without any problems. The judge approved everything and all of our back work planning. So for these last few years, all the hard work, finally, we're able to say we've completed that. The next and final step is holding our first meeting. So that is tentatively scheduled for the second Monday in May. That gives notification to all our members to be present. We'll be adopting our new bylaws, opening up the organization as a whole, and then electing our executive board, which will be president, vice president, and so on. As well as they will be adopting all the officers and all under the new Baldwin Fire Rescue. So it's a great and wonderful thing to report. I've been looking forward to this day to say that we finally completed it, and so we're there. And just one last thing to do is that's to open the actual organization, and that'll take place on that second Monday. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a lot of hard work you guys have done.
Yes,
That is really-
absolutely. Where are you having your meeting?
So we are planning to have it at Station 3, which is South Baldwin's Social Hall, just because of the, we suspect the attendance from our company members will need that space. We're also going to obviously feed everyone to be in attendance. Yeah, I think it's important.
We'll get them there.
Butch is excited about that, of course, and Mr. D.
I ordered the food.
Yeah. So the night should go smoothly, and then we'll be able to introduce everybody. And maybe that was something that we discussed at our last meeting is I don't know if it's possible to bring all of our company officers as well as our newly elected executive board in front of council next month and swear them in or something of like to acknowledge the new company officers. We've never done that before, but I thought it would be
Butch had mentioned that to me before, and I'd be more than happy to do it.
that'd be
Just
great.
remember the meeting that would be moved to Monday because the election Tuesday is on the 20th, so that would be Monday the 19th.
Okay, all right. I will. Yeah, yeah.
We can do it offhand.
What would be really nice is now that we're live streaming and there's people watching, and we thought this would be a really good way to get the word to our community that this has happened. And again, the commencement means begin. And April 10th, our new organization commenced, it began.
Yeah.
And we just want to spread the word.
Yeah, spread the word, celebrate, and introduce whoever those parties are. So, what's that? That'll be on May the 12th. That'll be at 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock. And if no questions, at least about that, I will move to the March report. For the month of March, we responded to 72 emergency incidents. Year to date, we're at 220 calls. Average turnout per station, 3.3 with a total of 10 total firefighters across the borough per call. Our average response time was 8 minutes. And our top 3 responding firefighters, Jesse Sopko, Ryan Bischoff, both were tied at number 1 with 42 calls, and Dominic Murata at 40 calls. Our responding districts, we went to 55 calls in Baldwin, 10 in Brentwood, 3 in Mount Oliver, 1 in West Homestead, 2 in West Mifflin, and 2 in Whitehall. The majority of those calls fell into a large scattering of different incidents ranging from fires to rescue incidents, hazmats, and good intent false alarms and things of that nature. Also another wonderful thing to recognize, I'm sure you guys have already discussed, but we had a opportunity to speak about our consolidation earlier this month in front of a what do they call that meeting?
Senate subcommittee.
Subcommittee meeting with our state representative and state senator, which was awesome to share in our what we've experienced in our consolidation and the needs in public safety to get a better understanding for to them about public safety. I did reach out to our senator's office, and I'm planning to have a sit down personally with him to just have a little bit more of a one-on-one discussion, as well as with our state rep, to discuss Baldwin just as our one. There's a lot of different folks there, so just a little bit more of an intimate meeting in that regard, and talk about different opportunities that maybe they could help us with. That date hasn't been set yet, but I'm excited to sit down with them. And then lastly, the council, we had spoke about going forward. We're looking at what it's going to take for us to be rebranded, and whether that's vehicle lettering, whether that's uniforms, whether that's the notifications to our residents and different things. And obviously there's a cost involved with that. And we had talked briefly, I think, at some point, and I didn't know if there was any ability for the council to help with some of that, whether that is rebranding or,
Did you
uniforms.
mention, Bob, at one point you thought we could do like the sweatshirts, the t-shirts, the hats, and
Yeah.
some
I
of that
think,
stuff?
and I think
that-
a good platform for this would also be Community Day, have a booth with maybe some of the new shirts or
Yeah.
a logo or something of that nature.
Yeah.
Stickers.
Yeah.
Could we help the new fire company incur that? That's what we had. talked
Yeah, I
about.
mean, yeah, we gotta see, what are we talking, what the total cost is and
Yeah.
where we could fit that into the budget.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if we're buying just shirts, yeah, we could probably do that. If we're doing shirts, hats, and sweatshirts, and, we gotta see what that overall cost would be, and how many we need, et cetera, et cetera.
I know we
Well,
briefly.
he just happens to have the price in his pocket.
I do not, but if it's something that the council or the borough would be able to help, that'd be wonderful, and we would greatly appreciate it. And I can follow up with pricing on that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Excellent. No.
No, that'd be great. I'd love to see the numbers on that and anything we can do to help, certainly with that. And you mentioned the PA Senate Subcommittee. I was able to participate on that, which was an honor. And I think that, it was a nice spotlight on the borough for what we're doing. And you can watch it back on one of the senators' websites and that. So, if you'd like to see it, it was just an all-around good discussion. And I think it was very fruitful for some of the other fire companies that were there as well.
Absolutely.
And just on another note, while that was playing here, Fetterman's office, their staff was watching it.
Oh, interesting.
And they heard about some of the problems about FEMA money.
Mm-hmm.
And they called one of these state reps and says, hey, we can help you out with that.
That's
So
excellent.
hopefully that'll help some of these fire companies.
Absolutely. I think there's a lot of work to be done, and it was
Yes.
awesome to have the opportunity to sit, in a room with those individuals and discuss these problems, because sometimes it just feels, they're far away, and so hearing their interest is great to see, and to highlight what we've done was it's awesome.
It was also good for them to hear the recruitment issues that are across the state,
Not just in our community, but
Yeah, it's
Right.
everywhere,
Everywhere.
so.
Yeah.
yeah,
So the support we can get from them would be very, very helpful.
absolutely.
They've got ideas or muscle to provide.
Absolutely. I think there's multi-level approaches that have to be done, not just from state level, things that we can do, across the board, but all the support is needed, so.
And quite frankly, the Pennsylvania State Fire Commissioner who was here, I think, if anyone's able to watch that back, just the 5 or so minutes that he spoke, it was very enlightening. Because, he goes around to many events all around the county.
Yeah. Mr. Cook is good people.
Yeah.
Definitely.
The statistics he provides are startling.
Very much so. We feel them. We feel them every day, though.
Yeah,
That's
we
the
do.
truth.
I bet you,
Unfortunately.
and members of the
Unfortunately.
public probably don't grasp that or have a,
Yeah, anybody that's listening, we definitely need your help, any help that you can give. We're always, every Thursday night, our drill night, or, inquire through our website, whether that's South Baldwin's or options currently. Our social media hasn't all been merged into one, but there are links on our websites that you can reach out to us and we can get in contact or set up a meeting if anybody's interested. We'd love to see you. We need all the help that anybody can provide, whether that's firefighting work or even administrative work. There's plenty to be done.
Okay.
Thank you all.
Thanks,
Chief.
Dave.
Good report.
Thank you.
Okay, I have a few more things. A few years back, I listened to a master class Bill Clinton had on YouTube. It was really good. One of the things he talked about was leadership and having the right leader at the right time. Like Franklin D. Roosevelt was the right leader for World War II and the Depression, right? It's the right person at the right time. We've been speaking about consolidation of the fire company for 30 years. We've had a lot of brilliant, bright people in Baldwin Borough that spoke about this. We had the right person at the right time. Dave Connell's a very humble man. Dave spearheaded this. And I'd like to give him a round of applause, and I'd ask you to join me. Because Dave spearheaded this effort. There was a lot of people worked hard. And the sign of a true leader is Dave never took the credit. He always gave everybody else credit. But tonight's the night that I believe Dave needs to be recognized for what he did. So, thank you, Dave. The three municipalities, we're still meeting on looking at consolidating the fire service in three municipalities. Last month, Bob reported last week at the agenda meeting, last month we, all three municipalities came back with their wish list that we want to see in the study. We turned it over to the consultant, Rob Brady, who did our consolidation in Baldwin. He's going to consolidate that list and prepare a scope of work, and we should have that soon. Again, our consolidation in Baldwin took about 5 years. I don't anticipate what we're looking to do with the three municipalities going any faster. In fact, it may be slower, but we build a model, and hopefully in another 4 to 5 years, we're celebrating something else new. So that's a report on that. Yesterday, as I reported, I went to Baldwin EMS's board meeting. They had 311 calls this month with a 6.8 minute per call average response time. Their subscription drive, very interesting. Baldwin is really good of the 6 communities with 24% of our residents have supported the subscription drive. Of course, we'd like to see that higher, and I would like to encourage anyone that's listening, please support Baldwin EMS's subscription drive, as well as the fire company's fund drive that's presently going on, so that we can sustain the organizations that we have in Baldwin. A couple other notes from Baldwin EMS. So first of all, they entered, I believe, a 3 or 5 year agreement with Brentwood EMS. Believe it or not, that is soon coming to an end. So Brentwood and Baldwin EMS are working on a 10-year agreement that would keep that 6 municipality organization intact. That's very important to us in Baldwin, because strategically it gives us the ability to place an ambulance in a great place in Brentwood's fire station that can get to a lot of pieces in Baldwin. And so strategically, the organization, how it's built with the 6 municipalities, especially with Beck's Run Road done, we have an ambulance in West Homestead, and they can get to the north end of the borough faster than anybody. So that agreement's really big, and Brentwood municipality, they are very dedicated to getting this 10-year agreement in place. So I think that's good for all of us, not just Brentwood, not just Baldwin, but every organization. I have Baldwin EMS's 2024 audit has come back, if anybody would like to see it. I know that has been on their list for a while to do. That was done by a gentleman named Eric Rossi. He's a CPA, and he recently completed their audit, and that looks real good. They're switching to a new medical reimbursement or health reimbursement company. They were having troubles with their last company, so they're in the process of switching over for their employees. Again, if we could get them more so this year, the list of the road paving, it would be very helpful to them. They're in the process of hiring 4 EMTs. They've cleared 6 people, so they vet their candidates, and their lieutenant captain does a lot of that vetting process. And once they're vetted, then the 6 employees will be interviewed, or the 6 candidates will be interviewed by Chief Plunkett and Assistant Chief Brian McCaffrey. So again, I believe Baldwin EMS is a destination location for paramedics and EMTs. They have a really good system. They like to build their system from within. They like to hire EMTs, get them to school, get them trained to become paramedics. And presently, J.J. Mullen, who is also a member at South Baldwin Fire Company, is getting ready to start the paramedic program. So they build their program organically, which I think is really good. And when you do that, I believe that promotes longevity in the organization. They just received a new light tower on their rescue truck. It was 26 years old, and it had failed. and they upgraded that, which was really good. Their 512, ambulance 512, that was in the accident recently, fully back in service. Their new squad 514, or I'm sorry, their new ambulance that they just purchased, brand new 514 has arrived. That'll be in service soon. That's going to get lettered and the radio's in, so that'll be ready relatively soon. They're considering a new truck again in 2026. They see substantial decrease in their repairs on the ambulance when they replace, and they stay on top of the replacement program. I believe they have 18 vehicles, so that's a pretty large fleet they're managing. One other thing, they're getting ready for their next subscription drive. Very interesting. We spoke about it last night at our fire company meeting, something that we want to keep an eye on. Their next subscription drive, and actually, Aaron, you had kind of mentioned this and passed this idea along. They're going to print their next literature in Nepalese.
Fantastic.
So the population is large. Chief, I don't know if you know our population in Baldwin of the Bhutanese community, but it's growing. And
I want to say it's around 9% maybe?
9%. So they believe that, we have 9%, but in their 6 communities, it's a growing population. What's really interesting, Western Pennsylvania is where a lot of the Bhutanese community has settled. And very interesting, from what Todd Plunkett reported yesterday, it's because of our terrain and geography. And this is what they were used to where they came from. And that's why they came here. And so they believe that by printing this in that language, they can get more support, but also have the Bhutanese feel that they're more a part of our community. So I think Aaron brought that up like a year or so ago. Are we considering that? And so that was a great suggestion, and it looks like that's where they're headed. And if there's no questions, that is the extent of my report.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. D?
Well done, Butch, well done.
Thank you.
Butch, I just had a question. Regarding the 3 borough consolidations, has anything like that been done recently in Western Pennsylvania that like a consultant can use to research and use as like a road?
He's done a ton of them, not in Western PA that I know specifically, but he's done it throughout the state.
One right down the street from us, River's Edge.
River's Edge, which was
Braddock, Rankin. I think there was 3 communities real close that they pulled 3 communities together. He's done a lot in the center of the state. He's doing another one in Beaver right now, isn't he, Dave? Several community.
He is, and out east, I mean, they're like 20 years, I feel like, in the future in reference to this work. He's done a lot of projects out of the eastern part of the state, bringing in not only fire department municipalities, but also he's done EMS consolidations and services as well. So.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I was just wondering if there's like an example that you guys could use, so that's fantastic.
Yeah. One other thing, I'm sorry I did forget. So yesterday at the meeting, Chief Plunkett passed this out. The Ambulance Association of Pennsylvania, for those of you that were at ALON may have heard this, has been working diligently behind the scenes for many years for reasonable reimbursement for the ambulance service. Representatives Jill Cooper and Lisa Borowski have championed House Bill 1152, which would repeal Act 84. Essentially what that means is the ambulance service would be able to direct bill the insurance, and it wouldn't have to go through the owners. So if we could let our local reps know, and if we could get behind this bill, it would be very advantageous to our ambulance service. I have some literature on the hospital for anybody that's interested. So I think this could be really big for the EMS, especially our EMS, especially us as residents. Because, it's our system. We have to pay for it. So if they can get adequately reimbursed that lessens the burden on all of us. So, and that is it now.
Awesome. Thank you, Mr. D.
Very
Sorry.
good report, Butch. Very good, thank you. Very thorough.
Just one update. During Mr. D's report, I did inquire as to the status of the proposed agreement with the consultant. I'm told that our firm is still waiting on the final proposed contract. Once we have it, we'll have a chance to review, we'll have a chance to share it, and then eventually, ultimately, once we're happy with it, we'll need a motion to authorize payment for 1/3 of the cost of that fire consultant. So hopefully more to come on this next month.
Okay, thank you, Mrs.
You're waiting
Wagner.
on a contract from Rob?
Yes, apparently.
Consult, okay,
he's-
yeah, nobody ever mentioned that, so, all right, we'll have to have
That's
that
what I'm
discussion.
told, is that he'll provide, sort of the initial draft, and then we'll get a chance to take a look at it and see if there's any changes.
Okay,
And Bob, we did budget in 2025.
yes,
for
all
line
three of
item
us, all
for
three
that.
municipalities
Right,
budgeted
right.
the same amount, yes.
Great.
Thank you, Mr. D. Thank you, Mrs. Wagner, for looking into that. Moving on then to personnel with Mrs. Conley.
Thank you, Madam President. Tonight, I am making a motion to advertise for 2 2025 seasonal summer help positions with the Public Works Department.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to advertise for 2 2025 seasonal summer help positions with Public Works. Any questions on the motion? Yes, Mr. Rambo?
Thank you, Madam President. Mr. Fierick, at what rate will we be advertising?
This is $14 an hour.
$14 an hour. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fair. Any other questions? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries.
Okay, and the only other thing is I have a Shakog meeting on Thursday night, and I know that the consolidation is going to be a topic that'll be discussed. So that's all I have for my report. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Conley. Up next, audience agenda. Anybody in the audience have anything pertaining to the Borough of Baldwin they'd like to discuss? Okay, hearing none. I think that's it. I'd like a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Okay. All those in favor? I have a motion and a second to adjourn the meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting adjourned, 7:52.
All right.
Jason,
Thank you.
congratulations.